Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into, well, an incredibly perplexing crime mystery. It's sourced from an Arabic investigative report, almost like a true crime novella, called The Haunted Cabin Crime. Who is the killer? So picture this, a remote, cold forest, you know the kind, where everything feels a bit isolated, and there's a simple wooden cabin. But this cabin, it became the center of something that the source says shook the whole town. Our mission really is to unpack this source material piece by piece. Like we're right there looking at the clues, the statements, the forensics. We'll lay it all out for you. And then, honestly, the final judgment is yours. Okay, let's unpack this. It's the kind of mystery that just sticks with you long after you've heard the details.
Absolutely. And right from the beginning, this source sets up this atmosphere of deep deception. It's complex. You get these layers, truths revealed, but that final answer, who actually did it? It stays just out of reach. It really forces you to question everything you think you know as you go through it.
It really does. And it kicks off with this chilling discovery. So it's an autumn morning, 6 a.m. A hunter's just passing by the cabin, and he notices something's wrong. He reports a, quote, strange smell, an open window, and weirdly, a light on inside, even though the cabin supposedly has no electricity. That's immediately...
Unsettling, right?
Oh, absolutely. Major red flags right there. So when the police get there, they find the door is locked, but from the inside, that immediately makes you think, okay, is this a staged, or is someone potentially still inside? They had no choice but to force their way in.
And what they find inside, it's grim. Reem, found cold on the floor. The source says her eyes were open like she was just terrified in her last moments.
And
the immediate clues right there, a cup of tea nearby. And this message on the wall. Stark, it just said,
yeah.
Betrayal has a price.
Wow. That message, it's just so theatrical almost.
It is. And what's fascinating here is how quickly the scene sets up this narrative. Fear, yes, but also conflicts. Betrayal, those open eyes, the message. It screams this wasn't random. It tells you straight away there's a deep personal history here. It really highlights how a scene's details create this immediate psychological impact, sometimes before any hard evidence.
Definitely shapes the investigation from the get-go. So the investigation starts, and it quickly focuses on four people, four main individuals. You've got Sarah, Reem's close friend, Adam, who was Reem's fiancé, Noha, Reem's sister, and Uncle Gamal, the forest guard, any one of them potentially involved. But the real game changer came with the forensics, didn't it?
It really did. The report dropped a bombshell. Reem died from poison, specifically a slow-acting poison called thallium, and they found traces of it right there in that teacup near her body. Now, thallium, its symptoms can mimic other illnesses, making it hard to spot right away. This detail is significant because it means the victim might have had time after being poisoned, time to maybe write something or even talk to someone without realizing the full danger yet. It narrows the focus considerably.
Okay, so thallium confirmed. In the tea, that's huge. But then the forensics delivers another shock, the teacup itself.
Yes. This is where it gets really interesting. Sarah's fingerprints, they were all over that cup. Suddenly, Sarah, the close friend, is front and center. It puts her alibi under this intense microscope.
What was her explanation for that?
Well, Sarah said, yes, she poured the tea for Reem. She admitted that part. But she insisted she left before anything happened to her. And this raises that classic investigative question, doesn't it? Do you trust the alibi, the words, or the hard physical evidence? It's a direct contradiction.
A huge contradiction. But the twists just keep coming. The police, they keep searching the cabin, and they find Reem's mobile phone hidden under the sofa. And on that phone, they find this chilling audio recording.
And it's Reem's voice, very faint, almost a whisper. She's saying something like, I know the truth. I know who is betraying me and who intends to finish me off. She goes on, I won't stay silent. If anything happens to me, know that the killer is the one I trusted more than myself. Heartbreaking, but also a direct accusation, pointing to someone close.
Someone she trusted more than herself. And then the critical detail, the one that just flips everything again. Whose voice is heard in the background of that recording?
Adam's, her fiancé.
Adam. So what does this mean now? His voice on that recording?
Well, it immediately shifts the focus heavily onto him. It doesn't prove he poisoned her, of course not, but it puts him right there with her during what sounds like a very vulnerable, tense moment. It confirms this direct, volatile interaction she mentioned. The question becomes, what happened right after the recording stopped?
Exactly. So they bring Adam in, right? What does he say?
During interrogation, he does confess. He admits Reem knew he was betraying her. He says she even threatened to expose him. So the motive, it's definitely there, clear as day.
Okay, motive established. But did he admit to the poisoning?
No, he absolutely denied it. His words were something like, yes, I betrayed her, but I would never harm her. Adamant denial. So the police are stuck. They have this clear motive. They have the recording placing him there,
Mm-hmm.
but no conclusive evidence, no smoking gun actually linking him to administering the poison.
It's like you have all the pieces pointing towards him, but not the final connecting piece.
Precisely. We connect this to the bigger picture. It highlights the challenge of conviction based purely on circumstance. Motive? Yes. Opportunity? Seems likely. Damning recording? Yes. But without that direct link proof he handled the poison, proof he gave her the cup after it was poisoned, it leaves that sliver of reasonable doubt prosecutors hate. A strong case, but maybe not airtight.
Right. But just when you think, okay, maybe it was Adam, maybe it wasn't, the story pulls out one last surprise. A week after the crime, Sarah, the friend whose fingerprints were on the cup, she goes back to the cabin. She's looking for Reem's notebook. Apparently, Reem wrote everything down.
And she finds it.
Yeah.
And on the very last page, written in Reem's own handwriting, an astonishing message.
What did it say?
It read, "I was poisoned by those closest to me."
Hey.
Okay, confirmation. But then she writes, "But not Sarah, not Adam, not Noha." She explicitly clears the main suspects. Then she adds, "The killer is smarter than that. It was the one who made me drink with my own hand."
Made her drink with her own hand. What does that even mean? And she clears the main suspect.
Exactly. This final note, it just completely flips the script again. It shifts blame away from Sarah, Adam, Noha, towards someone potentially far more cunning. Someone who could manipulate Reem into poisoning herself, perhaps,
Yeah.
or trick her somehow. It suggests a level of manipulation that's chilling.
Yeah.
But also, it's Reem trying to point the finger from beyond the grave, trying to control the narrative one last time.
But the final frustrating detail.
Right at the page. It wasn't signed. No signature.
Unbelievable. So Reem leaves this incredibly specific yet maddeningly vague clue, explicitly clearing some, pointing to a method, but not naming the person. And because of all this, despite everything uncovered, the haunted cabin crime, according to the source, remains officially open, unsolved.
It's truly an enduring mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have a victim who seemingly knew her killer, left clues, even recordings and notes, but the actual identity, still elusive, goes to the machine.
So it makes you think, putting yourself in Reem's shoes with what she knew, what she wrote, who would you have trusted? Who do you think it was? The one who, as she put it, made me drink with my own hand. Was the killer really hiding in plain sight all along, operating with such cunning they could manipulate Reem herself into the act? It really makes you wonder about the faces we trust, doesn't it?